Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, October 16th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. Do we know why there is so much suffering in this world? Because most everyone is over-identified with their thoughts and wrapped up in the ego, an illusionary limited identity. The ego, an illusionary limited identity. This ego trip gets in the way of knowing yourself to be a divine flowing source of love, sweetness, and joy. Drop whatever knowledge you have that is causing you to cling to your ego. Stop reacting and start to consciously allow life's natural, intelligent, and conscious loving energy to flow through you. Because all of us are divine essence itself. There's something extremely magical happening right now. In this very moment of your life, you may not be aware of it or care to take notice yet. It is here, and it continues to go on being magical all the time. It happens so frequently that it can seem normal, obvious, and typical, which is why we might tend to overlook it every day. Yet truly, this magical thing is more amazing than the mind can fully believe or comprehend. The miraculous thing I'm talking about is your life. And it is happening inside of you, through you, to you, and for you, right in this now. There is a perpetual creation of the experience of you occurring, just for you to enjoy you. There's not much you can do about it. The best thing to do is to just let go and completely surrender yourself to the experience. On a physical level, there are millions of miniature life-giving processes happening inside your bodies right now. There are energies that are keeping your heart beating, your lungs breathing, your hair growing, your teeth from decaying and allowing your heart to relax and sleep tonight. Your diaphragm is pulling in a continual flow of oxygenating energy into your lungs while your body is pumping blood to trillions of cells, lovingly transporting the great river of life, giving energy to every cell throughout your body. In this moment, as you sitting here reading and understanding, billions of brain cells are being engaged in understanding these concepts. It is only in this now moment that you can find this miraculous experience called life and discover where it's coming from. When you stop to appreciate all of the wonderful things that are occurring in your life, this highly sensitive extrasensory perception begins opening within you. You begin feeling and sensing the divinity that is behind every breath and heartbeat. This sweet sensitivity increases to the point where you can feel the vibrant matrix of intelligence that is weaving itself through all thoughts and things. It's amazing what a little appreciation for this life can open up in each and every one of us. When we start to be grateful for all the little things that we usually take for granted, we can begin to see, smell, taste, and hear the deeper meaning of our existence. It becomes possible to actually know on a spiritual level why we are here and what is the true meaning of our lives. we see that everything that is happening around us is actually a miracle because we realize that we also are a miracle. Perhaps one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is the experience of conscious awareness. We can watch the mind think, perceive, and make up all sorts of explanations about ourselves and our lives. We can see that when we make the slightest, most subtle shift in our perception of reality, our entire attitude and exploration of life changes. Our body responds differently to stimuli that it once believed was threatening, and we find an entirely new reason for being alive. The mind is the greatest inventor of lies. It never actually sees the truth in all its perfection. It can only see fragments of the truth, catch a glimpse of it here and there, and try to capture it with some fixed yet random creative expression. It is always making up stories about other people, the world, yourself, and the way that life is. It makes these enormous, glorious assumptions to courageously capture the truth and fit it into a beautiful box that others can appreciate and praise. Yet the truth is too big for the mind to contain. Truth is everything in the universe that is here now. The mind can only hold on to two things, the past and the future. The mind cannot just be here now in the present. The moment the mind completely surrenders into the burning fire of the now, all grasping disappears with all of your suffering created by the mind is gone. The singer exists only in singing. The walker exists only in walking. So is the ego. The ego exists only in clinging to, in possessing things, in dominating things. When there is no domination, no desire to dominate, no desire to cling, no desire to possess, the ego starts evaporating. Okay. If you wish to experience the truly miraculous being that you are, and get a real taste of the amazing life that is yours to enjoy, you must choose to drop the mind. You must choose to give it up completely and let go of all clinging to its righteous beliefs and ways of thinking. That is the only way to be truly alive. Otherwise, you're just living in tomorrow or yesterday, missing out on this wondrous moment now of life. The true you can only be found here, in this now moment. And one day, this body and mind will be gone, which is why this experience of your life is so very, very, very precious. And yes, your life is so precious. Take the time today to truly enjoy you being here right now and totally alive. How often do you appreciate the opportunity you have just to experience what it is like to be alive? This appreciation is your ticket to freedom. It is the main vehicle for liberating yourself from the mind and its many prisons. To see, feel, and smell the divine divinity within all things, you must drop. You must choose to drop all attachment to the mind and its entanglements. You must choose to merge with it. Find peace with the mind within you. Just imagine that you are the sun, and the mind is a small, hard comet heading toward you, about to get burned up in the sun's sacred fire. My invitation for you right now is enormous. Stop trying to get anywhere. Just drop the mind and see how much you can really enjoy this day that you are still alive. In this very moment, you are still here. Who knows about the next moment? Remember this, and choose to do everything you can to be radically alive. So my request of sensory here is not that you try and push yourself further into your known list of sensory pleasures, mental distractions, or physical addictions. I'm actually challenging you to go deeper into your aliveness, your spiritual nature, and find a deeper, more authentic joy inside of you, one that contains a deep healing relaxation within it. Find the peace that is within your soul. It is here now. I want you to find the peace that is within your soul. It is here now and will help you transcend every hidden anxiety and self-sabotaging behavior you have had. Become so alive, so vibrating with life, that you suddenly realize that you cannot hold on to all your worries and fears, that they are no longer your priority. Imagine how it would feel to be so relaxed and excited about your life, living in this magical body-mind vehicle you are in, that you forget all insecurity and fear. What if the main mission of your life was to do this? What if finding absolute unending joy was as simple as being fully here now? Welcoming this sacred moment and whatever the experience is giving you. What if the goal of your life was to cherish yourself in each precious moment, as if this was the first or last moment of your life? How would you live this day differently if this was your truth? One must have chaos in oneself in order to give birth to a dancing star. Friedrich Nietzsche. Do you know the transition of the word sin? I've mentioned it before. Did you know the transition of the word sin? Sin means to miss the target. I see that life is like a game of darts where the bullseye target is being fully here in this now moment. This is where the divinity, your divine essence, all of our divine essence is found. It is the only place in space it is discovered. So why be anywhere else? It is just the habit of the mind to be somewhere other than here now. When you take your eye off the target for an instant, you miss the goal of your life completely. When you are relaxed, open, present, and fully surrendered to what is here now, you can trust life, enjoy being held by life, and hit the target each time. The one thing that will always bring you into the now is your body and your breath. Practice listening to your body intimately and feel into how it is breathing into you this week. Really listen. What is it telling you? The body does not lie, and it is going to clue you in on an entire collaboration of vital information that you, all of us, really need to know. Listen super closely, as if it were whispering to you from a place very far away. Notice what is the one message it has for you right now. It is pointing you inside, deeper inside, to the point of absolute relaxation, totally dissolving all tension, where you can find real inner peace It is through your body that you will find the real you, who is forever intimately connected with this universe. When you practice listening to your body, letting go of the chit-chat in your mind, you start to hear these subtle messages from the universe that guide you through the daily matrix of this life. The universe will show you how to get through this life, how to navigate your way into finding heaven on earth. This is your purpose for being here, to find heaven is here in this now moment. When you deeply relax into yourself, into your life, exactly as it is, in this very now moment, you can discover the greatest miracle of all. You can trust that you are on the right path in every moment of your existence. To find heaven is here in this now moment. When you deeply relax into yourself, into your life, exactly as it is, you can discover the greatest miracle of all. You can trust that you are on the right path in every moment of your existence. You just see, feel, and deeply accept that you cannot get off the path, no matter what you do. This is true because you are the path. The path is before you, beneath you, and right where you are. Walking on the path, you see everyone is perfect just the way they are. You begin noticing that everyone fits into the grand perfection, with all of their many imperfections, and realize the great miracle of them all is always here. Here, the most magical source of living is discovered. The real intimacy with this life. The meeting of the divine with the mundane and every ordinary and extraordinary experience. Liberation is not very far away. It is just hidden behind you. Once you're authentic, the door opens. We can be such liars, pretenders, and hypocrites, so deeply false. That's why we feel liberation is very far away. It is not. For an authentic being, liberation is just natural as anything. Also. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do, relax the body. Relaxing the body is absolutely paramount. It is the gateway. It is the door to walk through. And we, each of us in these bodies, are the only ones that can relax them naturally. When do you relax the body? The first step. The mind begins to give way. The ego begins to quiet. Because as you relax the body lets go. As you face and surrender all of the thoughts that you have moved energy into form, created it into your reality, and experienced it, manifesting. So whatever you create, whatever thought that you generate, whatever thought that you embrace, is going to become your reality. And when you begin to let go and you surrender and you face these fears that we all get and these worries and stresses and anxieties and our ego and our mind, and when we just address them lovingly, kind, generous, and humble, and the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of purest, purest gratitude, they fade away. And every time they come back, they fade away again. They really do fade away. And as all of that tension and stress, fear, worry, anxieties and stuff, as they fade out, you find yourself focusing on this very moment, the now. You learn that by being in the now, you still the ego and the mind. You still them, which means you step outside. You don't interact with them. You become the watcher. You watch them. You don't judge them. You watch them. You ever watch something when you wanted to learn? You watch it. You watch and see. Like if you wanted to learn what someone's doing, dancing, you watch. And as you watch what they do. And you're not judging. You're saying, okay, so I watch how they do this and do that. And then before long, you're able to do it. Just by watching. Not reading a manual. Not looking at fractions and equations and everything. But literally watching what they do and then doing what you watch them do. So when you watch the ego and the mind, after you've stilled them and you've stepped outside of them, you're leaving them alone, and your body's relaxed, and you've surrendered the tensions, the stresses, and the fears, you master them. You begin to master them through the heart-mind. And then they have been your master and slave overlords since the beginning. And you have learned the only way to master them is to leave them alone. And that's when you begin to experience true freedom. You're no longer being directed. You're no longer being told how to think through the ego mind. Your hurriedness, anxiousness, irritability, all of it fades out. And it's always about the breath. We know the soul comes in the body, powers the body out. We breathe in oxygen, oxygenate our blood. The breath sustains the body that holds the kingdom of God. You, each of us. So it's always the breath. Always the breath. So we look in our bodies, these bodies that hold us, and we notice that there are 7 lights from the tailbone to the top of the head. And these are called chakras. Chakra means wheel, wheels of light. They're etheric and spiritual in essence, just like we are, the gods that we are. We're spiritual and etheric in essence. Now, we flow through these 24/7, and they connect to every part of this body. They connect to every organ, even down to the quantum quark. Everything about these bodies, the God that you are knows intimately. Anything that's wrong, anything that's going on, knows intimately. And you see why the controllers of this planet always want us to be separate. They have always wanted us to be separate, to create the illusion of separation. It's easy to do that with the body. You see a bunch of bodies and you say, well, how can we be one? What is it the body that's one? It's the God within the body that's one. So keeping the body in the now, relaxed, and not being pulled every which way by the ego mind. and tens of millions of programmed thoughts that aren't ours. Remember, when you have a thought, you generate the thought. You send the thought out. When a thought comes in, it is a programmed thought that is not yours, even though the trickery even makes you believe that you're the one that generated it. And then you realize, that's not my thought. It's real tricky. But soon you begin to realize, that's not my thought. Even though it feels like I generated it, it came to me, not from me. Now, we know that the soul, everybody's searching for heaven, throughout existence. And like heaven is outside of you. And that's a deception. You're the heaven. Each of us are the heaven. All of us are the heaven, not the body, the God within it. What's the statement? We were made in His own image. Not the body, the God within it. So the soul, heaven, body, earth. Heaven on earth. Interestingly enough, when you pray, try this. Knowingly pray to the God that you are within the body. I know that sounds a little strange, but try it. When you pray or you intend, pray to the God that you are within that body. You'll be amazed on what happens. Then you'll embrace it. Now, when we talk about being consciously aware means that we know that we are conscious. We know it. We know that we are not unconscious. We know that we are conscious. And we are conscious to a certain extent on this endless journey. And we're consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And we know that every step that we take on this planet, we're creating paradise. Not only that, we have learned, we understand by knowing who and what we are, to a certain extent, we shine our light. We are the light. And we shine at 360 degrees and it expands out. It affects your light. You're consciously aware of the God that you are in your light. Affects millions of people on this planet. Millions. And you knowingly are shining it everywhere you can. You're blasting it on everything and everyone as often as you can. Whether you're just sitting alone somewhere, you're blasting it as often as you can. You focus on it. Everywhere you go, you're blasting it. You're saturating and flooding everyone and everything around you. Life, the highest supreme value in universes. So if you were to go into outer space and you wanted to look at the planet from afar, you would see that it glowed with the billions of gods. Not only that, you would notice that the surrounding lights around it in this universe pale in comparison to it. But we know that parts of the gods that we are asleep. They're asleep. We don't wake them. They will determine when they waken. We will know it. So then there's the parts of us, the gods that we are, that are awake. Those are the parts that we communicate with. And that's all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That's the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her, all the off-worlders, galactic, celestials, all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Now, light energy beings, because of our eyes that we have with these physical bodies, we only see 1% of what is. So, shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations, we don't see. But we are familiar with a handful. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, mermaid, dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, many, many, many more. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do, so we do not see them like we see each other. We could pass by them and not know it. We can interact with them and not know it. They could carry on a conversation with a complete stranger, all of a sudden start a conversation with you. You don't know it. Usually there's a feeling, but you can't put your finger on it, and then after you've interacted with them, it does at times dawn on you, and you'll know every time because it comes from the heart. The center of your chest, the heart, that's where it comes from. And you say to yourself, that was an angel. There's no way that wasn't an angel. I could feel it. That's the oneness of all that there is. And they give us a message, but it's presented in many different ways. A lot of the times it's kind of a puzzle for us to figure out, or a riddle, or their actions. But it really is, isn't it absolutely magna, glorious, spectacular, and stupendous to be alive in these bodies? To touch, to feel, to smell, to taste, to see, to hear. Do you think we do that as the gods that we are that leave these bodies? No, we don't. None of it. Do you think we sleep? No. We really don't. Do we stress, worry, and fear? No. That's all the physical. That's the body. So it is. It's an absolute miracle to be in these bodies alive. And so many of us take it for granted until it's over. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of millions. And the reason is because they can hold a large number in a small area because of their vibrational frequency. So you want them to surround you? Tens of thousands, tens of millions? Just ask, they will, and you'll feel the bliss. Now, the ascended masters, they have mastered ascension into physical and out of physical. And they hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical, and we are in the process of mastering the physical, creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics, and the celestials, we are only aware of a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 species travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the felines, Zeta Reticuli, the Anunnaki, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Albion. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And we're all gathered arm in arm, hand in hand, so to speak, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance, and we're all one. And we're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every one of these bodies. This light is so powerful that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns to even come close to its brilliance. It is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest. Eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And we're flooding this planet. All of us, hundreds of millions of us, on and off world, flooding this planet. On it, in it, above it, and below it. All life, the highest supreme value in the universes. We're flooding it. As we continue to ascend above the planet, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. It looks like a laser light show, but 1 trillion times more intense. It's like a ballroom mirrored globe reflecting light on everything. Except this one's 1 trillion times more intensive. Multiple colored flashing lights, almost strobing, everywhere. And we notice the reflective point, so we move towards it, and we then discover it's a microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. So we go into them, and we discover that all of us gathered in this meditation, from all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, and consciously aware to a certain extent what we are, who we are, we discover that we're all teaching and learning with each other. No matter how the life is held within the vessel. Tree leaf, branch, animals, deer, birds, insects, people. We are all learning. We are all teaching constantly. Either teaching, learning, and teaching, or both. But we're always learning, always teaching. It's magnificent. It's what's always there on this endless journey. We just take at least one step back and that we understand. At 2 o'clock. Instead of taking things for granted, we watch everything around us. We view it. We don't judge it. And we figure out what it is you're learning. What am I learning here? What am I seeing? What am I feeling? Nothing is by chance. Nothing. Everything is divinely perfection through the universe. There are no mistakes. Literally none. The universe makes none. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the power of healing. We may not have that discovered it yet, but we will. Then we're met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light we created to remind ourselves of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met by the white fire. This is the column of light that we created that reminds us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are imbued with the white fire armor. It isn't like the armor on this planet. It is way beyond that. And it emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within these bodies. It doesn't drain, it doesn't weaken, it can't be manipulated, seduced. It is forevermore. So all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies cannot affect it. They don't come near it. They know at that high frequency they'll vaporize. No demon attachments, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequency invasions, nothing at all, ever. Yet, only you have the power that if you do decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, through greed, anger, hatred, fear, worry, stress, anxiety, envy, hurriedness, revenge, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then, many possibilities. Demon attachment, possession, a lot of lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Now, if you do decide to do this, whether consciously or unconsciously, you're immediately met with a double column of light. The first part is the purple transmuting flame. We created this column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where there are no more. The second part of the column is the violet ray. We created this column to remind ourselves that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor and restoring our vibrational harmony, the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink column of light. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods in these bodies, that we are the sun, the sunlight, the sun sets and the sun rises, the rain, the rainbows, trees, the forests, the soils, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the mountains, the clouds, the sky. We are everything, and everything is us. The God's in these bodies. So the next time you see a sunset or a sunrise, an ocean view, mountain view, starlit night sky, it is you. It is the God's in these bodies. Always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. So when you see a sunset, you look at it, you don't say it's beautiful. You miss the understanding. You look at it and you go, that is me. It is the God that I am. It's a whole different understanding. Imagine all of us on this planet coming full circle and understanding that. Absolutely magna glorious with that discovery. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above them if we're carrying physical form. Why do we do this? Because we can. We come in full contact with this massive crystalline light tower, larger than the solar system and beyond. We created this tower. In the center of it, it houses an oblong sphere. Center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light. We notice that all of it is sending these massive cloud mist with, it's like sparkling, it's energy, and it absorbs into us. It's like a warm embrace that never dissipates, never ends. And the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes gratitude, peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, joy, bliss, well-being, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance. It's unending, all of it. And then we discover that it is a reflection of the gods housed within each and every single one of these bodies. Now, we look at the top of this crystalline tower, and we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing right now, as it continues to do, infinity. And this golden ocean is pure, deep, eternal love. And it's flooding us all life, the highest supreme value universe, head to toe, inside out. And we're all drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean isn't drops, drops of the golden ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere set center circle. We all created this sphere moving towards 4 years ago. It houses over 1,600 of our meditations in perpetual motion. And these meditations don't drain, they don't weaken, they don't dissipate, they don't disintegrate, they don't go away. They do the opposite. They intensify, and they expand, and they continue to do so. And all of these meditations, through these years that we have been a part of, 7 days a week, all those intents from all of us in all directions, in all existences, converging on this planet in its full, total liberation. And they're flooding us nonstop. You can always feel it through the heart-mind. It's amazing. No negatives. Pure divine perfection, flooding us all, constantly, continually. It's necessary to make your mind a prayer, the heart full of love, and every breath a melody of devotion. Then the soul becomes a glorified song of compassion, mercy, understanding, and humility. Annalise Garrett. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. No matter how small or stuck you feel, you can always find a way to transcend it. So for today, I invite you to dream big. Let yourself explore a new dimension of your greatest power, your imagination. Start with creating a movie image of what you want your life to look like, feel like, sound like, taste like. Hold that vision all day long. Anytime your mind wanders, return to it. Stick to it like super glue. For this one day, as much as you can, you'll be pleasantly surprised how much you stretch yourself and your mind with this one exercise. Enjoy. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we will return here Sunday, October 17th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.